And it's 11 o'clock. We need to start. Thank you for that reminder, Ozzy, my timekeeper. That's very nice of you. Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Welcome. We're going to do part 2 of Final Silent E Job 4 today. So without further ado, we will review what we did yesterday, and then we are going to do the rest of the lesson. I can see any chat that comes in. So if you do have example words that you got from yesterday, now is the time to share them, and we'll talk about those as we go along. All right, so yesterday we looked at adding a consonant plus L plus E to a word ending, and we came up with bull, with able and babble, cool, cycle and uncle, dull, idle and fiddle, full, rifle and sniffle, and ghoul, bugle and struggle. Now, we then also looked at HLE, adding that consonant to L plus E, and we discovered that that is not an ending. So that's the bit that we crossed out. So I hope you're keeping up so far. Let's rock and roll. Definitely. Douglas, Dougie. Ooh, Emma came up with wobble. Now, I do, if it's not your name, you know how I sort of say Emma did this and Dougie did that. Sometimes, I don't know, I'm just going by what your device says. So sometimes I'll call you by your parents' names. So sorry about that. Wobble. Archie found wobble in his reader last night and recognized it straight away. Yes, Emma. Yes, Archie. That's what we want. Bubble, giggle, dabble. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. And did you remember where to put a double consonant in the middle and where not to do that? Because remember, we want the difference between an open syllable and a short syllable, and it is that double letter that makes it happen. I like the word miracle. That's a great one, Ozzy. That's a really, really good one. When you get to words of more than 2 syllables, sometimes this bit, sometimes the doubling rule gets a little bit difficult. And the reason for that is to do with syllable stress, which we're coming up to. I can't explain it to you today because it's a whole lesson, but we are going to look at syllable stress as well. So that's a really good one. Ooh, popsicle. Now I want a popsicle. Thanks for that. And circle. Circle's a great one to look at, the root word circ, to look at that base. C-I-R-C is a base that's in lots of words, and it's a really good one to look into. So we might do that. We might do some morphology lessons after Spelling for Life is all finished. All right, so we've got stumble, saddle, smuggle. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. And yes, we want the difference between the short and long vowel sounds. All right, so let's get on with the next bit. What I want you to do now is, if you do have the worksheets there in front of you, there's about 3 different pages, and at the end on those 3 different pages there is space to write in the rules, and that's what we're going to do now. So rule 1 is that every syllable must have a vowel, and we already covered that, didn't we? We did the pledge. For every syllable that I write, I promise I am going to write a vowel. So write it in on that first rule line. Every syllable must have a vowel. Copy it down. When you're ready to move on, give me a thumbs up. Elizabeth said boggle. Yes, absolutely. Double G. Otherwise, that word would be bogle. And one of the ways that you can practice these words here is that you can say them without the double letter. So, Caitlin Lilly, the rule sheet that is Final Silent E Job 4 is a download on my website, lifelongliteracy.com. It's a PDF that you can download and print. If you don't have it in front of you, if it's too late and you won't get to it, all you have to do is on a piece of paper, write down the rule. Every syllable must have a vowel. Then once you get some time, you can maybe go onto the site and download that, that PDF. All right, next bit. A consonant plus LE cannot be split up. So on that sheet, you'll have another spot for a rule before we actually look at job 4, final silent E. So a consonant plus LE cannot be split up. So that gives us the difference between able and babble. You can't take the B from the second syllable in able to close off the first syllable. You've got to leave it with the L and the E. They form a unit that can't be split up. And that's why you have to double the consonant. That's why you have to double the B in babble, but not in able. So write that down. A consonant plus LE cannot be split up. And we did that yesterday. So now's your chance to make it into a rule. And then our last rule is, or actually that we're going to write down the job 4, because we've done the first 3 jobs. Final silent E is a signal to change the pronunciation of consonants or vowels before it. But job 4, final silent E can give the last syllable a vowel. So if you look at all of these, can you help Caitlin Lillyhan?
I don't know how.
Okay, so if you go to my website, Imogen is just going to try and help you, Caitlin Lilly. You're going to have to find it. There's nothing more I can do. All right. Oh, I think she's found it. All right. So final silent E can give the last syllable a vowel. Everybody write that bit down. And that's at the very end of the worksheet. So let's do the other bits. Are you ready? We crossed out HLE, and there's a few more that we're going to be crossing out. Are you ready for them? If you've gone ahead and done this, good for you, but you don't have to have gone ahead and done this. We can do this together. So the next one is JLE. Do we have words that end with a J plus an L plus an E? A J plus an L plus an E. Now, Dougie's asking if we can go back just for 10 seconds to copy down that rule, and we're going to do it. In the meantime, if you've already copied it down, write JLE as the next ending on the next page and figure it out. Is that one? Or do we cross that one out? Do words end Joel with JLE? If the answer is yes, you've got to think of some examples. If the answer is no, you've got to cross it out. What did you vote? JLE. Luca's saying no. I'm with you, Luca. Yep, there's Emma. She's saying no too. And the Tansley family, they're saying no. Everyone's saying no. You're right. You're right. Good one, Julia. Good one, Remy. Thank you very much. Gosh. And Sonia's device has got no in capital letters with exclamation marks. So my animation is that it fell off the page again. There is no JLE. Woo! Everybody got that. All right, what about KLE? Yes or no? Cool. We're on to KLE now. Yes, pickle. I thought you were calling me pickle, Emma, but I see what you're doing. Yes, absolutely, pickle. It's a yes. I got ankle and buckle. Ankle and buckle.
I thought buckle.
You thought of buckle. Imogen thought buckle as well. Terrific. Sparkles. I like that one. I really like sparkles. That's a really good one. Yes. Well done, everyone. Let's do LLE. Yes or no? Is that a syllable at the end of a word? LLE. And there are some words that end with LLE, right? Like bell in Beauty and the Beast, maybe, or gazelle. But the final syllable is E-L-L-E, not consonant plus L plus E. Therefore, LLE is not an example of a final syllable consonant plus L plus E. And Josie and Julian, that little is a really, really good example of TLE, and we're coming to that soon. So keep that one, put a pin in that one, because you're quite right. And the Tansley family says, but I'll makes an LLE sound. Well, it makes an OL sound, but there is no LLE spelling of that. Whenever there's an LLE at the end of a word, it is preceded by a vowel, which is giving that syllable its vowel sound. Remember the difference between vowels and consonants? A vowel is an impulse of the voice. The impulse will be the preceding vowel. You won't get consonant LLE. All right. And again, if you look at Daniil, you'll see that the I is forming that final syllable. All right. So LLE, that's a no. So I made it disappear. MLE, yes or no? MLE, what do you think? Mull. Mull, yes, that is a no. We don't have final syllables that end MLE. What about NLE? Null. Wow, Brett and Kate Jeffrey have put a do not enter sign. Where did you find that? That's amazing. You guys are clever. All right, NLE, that's a no as well. So I made it go round and round like that. Lots of no's, lots and lots of no's. You're quite right. PLE, pull. Do we have words that end with pull? Oh, the Nichols family is straight off. That's a yes for pull, PLE. And apple and staple are my two examples. You got to have a double P in apple. We don't want that vowel in an open syllable. Otherwise, it would be apple. I'm going to have a bite of my apple. That doesn't make sense. Same thing with staple. If you don't close that first syllable, stop that A from being at the end of the syllable, you're going to have the word staple. Nobody wants to staple their papers together. Staple. Very, very good work. And pimple, purple, yes, definitely. Very good examples. Alternative spelling word. The Tansley family have come up with an alternative spelling. You are quite right. Principle. I'm going to write it in. That was brilliant. And I'm very, very happy. And people's a good one. I'm very happy for any examples of alternative spellings. I will put them straight into the PowerPoint presentation. There's principle. All right. Okay. I think we're ready for the next page. What do you reckon? Ooh, I went a bit fast there. QLE. Do we have QLE at the end of words? Can we add that consonant to an L to an E and form a stable ending? No, we can't, because Q is always written with what? Yeah, it's always written with the U anyway, so it's not going to go. It needs a U, Josie and Julian, absolutely. It's not going to go with LE, so that is a no, and I animated it like that. Very, very brilliant work. Okay, now keeping an eye on questions and things, Buzz. All right, so RLE, yes or no? Ooh, sample and example, nice one, Julia. RLE, do we have words that end RLE as a syllable? Is RLE a syllable? There's a name, Merle, but here's the thing. It is the preceding vowel, it's the vowel before that gives that syllable its impulse. So RLE is not one. Off you go, Merle. Very good. No, 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 everyone's saying. Brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Who is person?
They can change their name.
Right. Fair enough. Okay. SLE. Is that a yes or is that a no? Can we add S to L to E? SLE. Well, we've got words like hassle, where the final syllable is soul, and tussle, where the final syllable is soul. Very good. So hassle is one. You've got to write that E at the end. That's job 4 of final silent E. Very good. Excellent work. That's a yes. TLE, yes or no? Tull. Do we have syllables that end with the sound tull? Oh, turtle. I like that one. That's an excellent one. I came up with title. What is the title of this book? The I, saying its name I in that first syllable, so no double in the middle. And little. Title and little. We've got to stop the word. We've got to stop the vowel in the first syllable in little from saying its name. So that syllable needs to be closed. Gentle's a good one, Luke. Thank you. Thistle, like my teacher. Thistle, like my teacher. That's an interesting one. We have silent TLE, and it kind of goes in between SLE and TLE. So we've got castle, hustle, jostle, bustle, missile, thistle. Very good. Alternative spelling, metal, absolutely. Let's put metal in there as one of the alternatives that we discovered today. Very, very good. I love that you're thinking of alternative spellings. Right, Miss Thistle was your teacher, Elizabeth. That's very cool. All right. Now, I think you're thinking of whistle, and you're absolutely correct, Will. Whistle has a silent T, but you hear the S in whistle. All right, very good. Oh, alternative spelling, petal and brutal. The Tansley family is the alternative spelling family. That is brilliant. Well done. Metal, petal, brutal. Yay. All righty. Excellent work. Okay, so on to the next page. We're on the home stretch. We're just about finished. XLE. Oh, and where does castle fit? It fits in the TLE section, but you hear the S. So sometimes you can put a little subsection in between of those two for those silent T ones, because it's in between S and T. So there's castle, jostle, bustle, whistle, thistle, missile, and so on. Yes, the Tansley family came up with it. It is the one sole example of XLE. It's axle. Alternative spelling is pixel, because Luke, guess what? Because you came up with pixel, and that's brilliant. But guess what? That's an alternative spelling, because pixel is P-I-X-E-L. Now, how come that doesn't behave like other words? How come? Ooh, I gave you the answers there. I hope you didn't see them. Okay. Marvelous. Yeah, the alternative spelling is pixel. How come we spell it in an alternative way? Do you know? What kind of word is it? What is pixel? I'll tell you. Pixel is jargon. It's jargon. It's IT jargon. It was invented for IT. And so jargon, yeah, for tech, absolutely. So jargon doesn't follow the same rules. It doesn't enter our language in the same way as other words. So pixel doesn't do what we expect. Do you see how that works? Oh, it's amazing. All right, we're on the home stretch. YLE. YLE. I want to hear what you thought. What did you think with YLE? Yes or no? Is that a final syllable? Yule. Lots of no's there. Lots and lots of people saying no. The answer is, it depends on your accent. Some people say style. Good. Josie and Julian got it. Style. Yeah, where is V? VWX. Oh, it must be on the last page. I must have got through that really quickly. I'll circle back. Thank you for for letting me know, Tansley family. We'll circle back to VLE in just a sec. Some people say style, and they actually make a consonant sound, and they make this word into two syllables. So you'll say style in two different ways, depending on how you say it. It's either style, and that you can count that as one impulse of your voice there, or style. Depends on how you say it. So I say it one way, you say it another way, or you might say it the same. So it could be maybe, absolutely. Last one. Are we ready? ZLE, yes or no? Ooh, gargoyle. Yeah, again, if you say gargoyle and count that last syllable as one syllable, or that last bit as one syllable, yes. Or if you go gargoyle and you make it a very strong yo at the end, then yeah. I love gargoyle. That's a brilliant example. Muzzle, puzzle, everyone's saying yes, you're absolutely right. ZLE works. You got to double that Z, otherwise it's pusel and drizzle, and nobody wants pusel and drizzle, they want puzzle and drizzle. Going back to VLE. Just putting all that back together for you. Is oh, I see. VLE kind of went weird, didn't it? It must be this presentation. I've made it into a new format. So VLE is no, vul. We don't do that. There are alternative spellings for vul. Same with WLE. We don't do that either. The Tansley family said resolve. Just look at the order of the letters there. Just look at the order of the letters. Alternative spelling, absolutely, for ZLE is hazel. Definitely hazel. And Wurzel. Not that we say Wurzel a lot. And there you go. And that's the whole thing. That is final silent E job 4. And that's a lot of vocabulary words too. A lot of words in your vocabulary. The next thing I want you to do, this is your homework. Yes, I would absolutely love to see more examples and more alternative spellings. But now I want you to think of something. Every single word in these lists, not every single word, but most of the words in these lists have something in common. Not just that they are consonant plus L plus E, but I want you to look at the part of speech that they are. I want you to look at what are they, generally speaking. Are they nouns? Are they verbs? Are they adjectives? Are they adverbs? Are they prepositions? Are they conjunctions? One day, together, we might do all of the parts of speech. Once Spelling for Life is over, and if we're not back at school, we're going to do all the parts of speech together if you'd like to do that. But right now, have a look. What kind of words are they? That's your homework. See what kind of words they are. And then if you have put in alternative spellings, what kind of words are they? Because there's a pattern here. There's always a pattern. Always, always, always. Now, there's one other thing that I want to do before we take questions. I want to show you something. It's a resource that I'm recommending for parents of children who have basically their basic alphabet and their basic code, but who want to practice with them on reading fluently. So this is going to be kids in prep or kids in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2. It's going to be under your 3rd graders, mostly. There will be some older children that this is great for as well. It's called Reading Pathways. And in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to run a free webinar on how to do Reading Pathways with your students. So again, this is for kids that are still, they've just got their basic code. So some of you it won't count for. And who are learning to read fluently. So if you're not reading fluently yet, you can use this. And I would like to say that we do have someone here joining us today who is one of my students who went through this entire book. Do you want to say who you are? You know who you are because I made a video of you finishing the book. Who is it? You can put your hand up if you like, or I can keep you anonymous. It's up to you. But he's also known as the best student in the world. So anyway, he finished the whole book and now he's just reading incredible stuff. So you can get this. There's two places that you can get this. I recommend that you get this on Book Depository. So that's a website that sells books. It's fast and it's cheap. Book Depository. So you have to look up bookdepository.com. Can you put that in chat, Bubsy? Also, though, if you're in the Mornington area, I'm in Mornington, Victoria. I have a box of 10 of them here because I ordered 10 before all of this blew up. So if you're nearby and you want to buy one of these books, they're $30. I'm not going to post them out. So if you're not on the Mornington Peninsula, it's much easier for you to get them from Book Depository. So that's bookdepository.com. Reading Pathways. I'm going to run 1 or 2 sessions on how to make all this work together, and it'll be free. But you need to get the book if you want to join in with those. Okay. And that will be in 2 weeks. So that makes it, today is the 21st of April. So that makes the date that we're going to do that webinar. So it gives you 2 weeks to get it. Is we're on 21st of April, not the 28th, but the 5th of May, I'll be running that. So there we go. All right, time for questions. We have got a couple of hands up, and we'll start with Edie.
Are there any more jobs for the silent E?
Silent E does signal certain other things in words. I will say that. It sometimes signals that the word is not plural, like in the difference between the word lapse, as in I'm going to let my membership lapse, and we ran laps around the oval. So there are some other more kind of very specialized jobs that it does that I haven't included in this program because I'm including what you need to know to hit the ground running with spelling. Does that make sense? That was you, Amelia. It wasn't Edie today. Thank you for your question. That was really good. All right, Zach, you're up next. Hi, Zachy.
Is anything named after the months of the year?
Oh, I'm supposed to be doing the months of the year every day, aren't I?
Yeah.
I completely forgot. I get really excited about starting the lesson, and then I forgot about months of the year. So why don't we do January tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's do January. And what I might do is I might upload a months of the year worksheet as well, because I've got one that people can write in. So January months of the year worksheet. Thank you for reminding me, Zach. I totally forgot. Clever person. Tomorrow we'll start the months. All right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Lovely to see you. All right. So does anybody? Yes, the cat has claimed the desk. Yes, it has. That's a beautifully put sentence, by the way, Dougie. You're so clever. I can't even believe how clever you are. Also, he likes to bite computers. So he's biting Imogen's computer at the moment. And he's biting the wire. Stop that. Don't bite the wire. All right. More questions.
Up a bit. We have one.
Mm-hmm. Is there a resource you can recommend for years 3 to 6? It depends on what you mean. There are lots of resources, but if you mean for fluent reading, if that's something you still want to achieve, Reading Pathways is really good for that because it goes from simple to complex quite quickly. So it's still a good one if you want to increase fluency with some really good phonics and really good vocabulary with it. Now, I'm not sure why people keep punching in the time. Are you trying to remind me of what the time is? I'm pretty punctual. I don't, thank you, but I don't need to be reminded. I'm going to do these at 11 o'clock every day because it works for the largest number of people, because we have people tuning in from Perth, which is 2 hours behind, and we have people tuning in from the United States, and it's their evening. If I do it any later, what's going to happen is the people from the States are not going to be able to join in. From Luke, I have gone back to school, but at home, and I enjoy talking and meeting you. Well, I enjoyed that too, Luke. Thank you. You're very kind for saying that. All right. Yes, it's not good when he chews the wires. You're quite right, Douglas. Julia is saying, does QULE exist? Great question. It doesn't. There is not one word in the whole of the English language that has that sequence of letters. Amazingly intelligent, insightful question from you, Julia, as usual. All right. And Luke is in Brisbane. Fantastic. Okay. So is that everyone? That all the questions done? You know what that means, don't you? Yeah, it's time to say goodbye. Tomorrow, you're in Perth, are you, Claire Marie? Brilliant. Tomorrow, we are going to do, we're leaving Final Silent E behind, and we're going to do the next part of Spelling Technician. I'm also going to put on my website the Spelling Technician check sheet so you know what's coming up. So you can download that. All right. So thank you, everyone. It's been brilliant to see you. We are now going to unmute your mics. Here we go. You doing that, Bubs? Bye. Luke is asking for a link. Luke, I'm not sure what link. I don't know what link you mean. Tell me what link. Bye. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you later, alligators.
Bye.
Bye.